The chalk-drawn number on the board says it's a solid lump of metal, but the shekel is better. Whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. No reply. It's a solid lump of better. Whip out those cutters. You won't get very far. The shekel snaps like a twig, and the lock falls.
After you, detective.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man. Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was...
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
You hear someone walking around inside. The walking stops. You can feel tension. A poor communard.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go.
It's generally a poor communard.
Do you have...
Let's go.
It's generally...
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis. I'm fine.
You're still worried.
Now, what do you want?
She's the cleaning lady.
I'm no one. Just a... If you could call it, it's barely big.
She hasn't spoken to anyone.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawl...
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying.
What's he in trouble for? Talk?
What was so funny?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment. Yes?
Ruination has come. The broken up, a great force from the tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling. The waves of the what didn't. Those are only 3 stories stacked. A fleet. They massed air. Many are still there to this day. If you squint,
The coalition. But that was a long...
he does not like talking politics of this country.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent.
The streets will not flow red with anything.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. And here I was.
A brush, an artist, the that smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint, it's heavy fuel oil.
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried? We rarely.
She wants it to be something true and total.
Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure.
She means that you've lessened her desire. The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust, it's different. The woman on
That Ozon whore. Someone's got to keep an eye on.
Ozon is an archipelago.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling you should take the lead.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. I ain't no snitch, Pigstein.
Actually, there is a shortage of people.
We weren't put on this earth to make...
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's...
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
Or what? You'll push me off this ledge and pry the bucket from my dead hands? Watch your back.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool. Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricot. By the way, there it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of... Yes, from the height, the sun set. There is a movement next to you. Why are you talking to a gum? Bitter, citrus, sweet, whatever petrochem until a blossom of skin and feels so familiar. striking woman leans against the cabin.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines. Phaeton, my maiden name. I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's...
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview.
There's a trace of irony in his voice.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. Why, yes I am. Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not? We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou. I haven't seen anyone else drive as souped up.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol. It's for crossing long...
Neither is this.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich. Before you do, it would be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info on this boat of her.
The boat? No.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful...
It's a pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. Okay. How about Cordeleche 19? Why? Because it was manufactured...
She makes a point of being unromantic about it.
Why Dolores? Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But, okay. How about because it...
She makes a point of being...
The X something. Thank you. Okay. Because it...
She makes a point of...
What? I think I'll stick with the factory name. My sloop?
I'm enjoying this.
I really do, the loop.
Oh my. The E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member...
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is...
Then what does 33A? This old proletarian haunt here? As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata.
She takes a sip.
Okay.
For quite a while.
No worries. We can just go back to discussing... Officer, I assure you I'm a...
The Crown's her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act.
Good. What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole.
There was a touch of discomfort.
The Pines, and that is the...
The Wild Pines group is one of the original Revacholian Indo. Son Baptiste.
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty...
A billion?
$20 billion. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like... They started. Centuries of care, deliberation, and... You know more than you let on. You mean aside from being the terminals, there are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to assure that doesn't happen.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.